Former President Bashar al-Assad is speaking out for the first time since the fall of his regime. Assad releasing a statement saying, quote, "My departure from Syria was neither planned nor did it occur during the final hours of the battles, as some have claimed. At no point during these events did I consider stepping down or seeking refuge." This comes as massive explosions hit the Syrian port city of Tartus overnight. A resident there calling the bombing the most violent compared to previous attacks. Israeli defense forces have been ramping up attacks on Syria, saying it's targeting military sites across the country. In studio, we have Consul General of Israel here, Ofir Akunis, joining me now for more on this. Consul General, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Good morning, Stephanie, and thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So Assad, as you heard, is now speaking out, saying he only fled Syria after drones attacked a Russian airbase. What do you make of that?
I will tell you something. We knew the butcher from Damascus for almost 25 years. We don't want that a new terror organization will replace a new terror regime in Syria. So we are doing whatever is necessary to defend our people. We don't want to build new settlements in Syria. We don't want new territories. We just want to defend our people in the Golan Heights, in the Upper Galilee, and actually around the country.
And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel has no interest in conflict with the incoming government. You've echoed that just now, but it seems to be striking Syria even more over the last few days, escalating the situation there just a bit. So what exactly is Israel's role in Syria's conflict, and what are officials doing to stabilize the situation there?
We're not doing we are doing only one thing. It's to be sure that the weapon that actually, when we know that there's a lot from Iran, from other sources, will fall to the wrong hands. And then they will use it, not only against Israel, they will use it against other countries around. Because, as you know, as I said, we knew Assad for a long time, but who are the rebels, the new terror organization supporters? We must ensure that you talked about stability. Well, we want stability. And stability is the only way, actually, to ensure stability is that they will not have the weapon that Assad left in Syria.
Speaking of stability, there are many that want stability in Gaza. The Hamas-run health ministry says the death toll has now surpassed 45,000 people. According to the ministry, more than 2% of Gaza's total pre-war residents, it's 2.2 million. There have been so many people killed in this conflict, going now on for about 14 months. Any sense of when the fighting will stop?
I will tell you, we didn't start the fire. That's a fact. We should remember that the current situation in the Middle East started on October 7th at 6:29 in the morning, because the Hamas invaded to the state of Israel, killed and they raped women and they burned people alive. That was the reason. We don't want this war. I want to tell you something, Stephanie. In general, Israel seek for peace with our neighbors, in our region. It can be heaven. But before it will be, you know, a very peaceful region, we must ensure our security. And we are doing whatever is necessary to defend our people all around. By the way, an hour ago, the Yemen fired a rocket against our people. The Yemen, the Houthis, of course, Iranian proxy, from Yemen. There is no territorial conflict between Israel and Yemen. Yemen is so far, and they fired a ballistic, maybe more than one, ballistic missile to kill our people in Israel. So we are defending ourselves, and that's what we are doing.
Can we talk about the humanitarian areas that have been hit? Just this weekend, the IDF conducted strikes near a hospital in a designated humanitarian zone in Khan Yunis. The IDF has not commented on the strikes. Glad to have you here. Maybe you can shed some light on this. Is there any word? Why did that happen?
I will tell you. There is a huge debate around the world, by the way, and in Israel as well, about what we call the humanitarian aid. We all agree that people the innocent people in Gaza Strip must have their water, their fruits, their vegetables, humanitarian aid, as you said. But what's the truth about the humanitarian aid? Actually, Hamas, and they're still here. You asked about the end of the war. I will give you an answer. But they're still there. They're stealing the humanitarian aid for the terrorists. So this is, by the way, they are not giving the humanitarian aid to the innocent Gaza's civilians. So this is a problem. They're stealing it all the time from the beginning, and the American administration knows it, the whole world knows it. We are doing whatever is necessary that the humanitarian aid, that the people of Gaza will get it and will live their lives.
What about the humanitarian zones, though? Those zones that have been designated kind of off limits, but they're not necessarily off limits.
I will tell you something. If the Hamas, if they are using these zones to fire rockets, like on last Friday evening from Gaza Strip to Ashkelon. It's a middle city in Israel. This is unacceptable. We want that it will be a safe zone, that it won't become a zone that they will fire rockets against innocent Israelis from this zone. So all the complaints and the criticism for Hamas.
Very difficult situation.
Yeah, but I want to tell you
there.
something else. I think that to close and to be optimistic, at this moment, Stephanie, we are closer than ever to a hostage deal. It's very important to our people. I met a few families in my office in New York on Friday afternoon. Hamas must release them, let them go. And we are very close to a new hostage deal, and I hope that it will be until Christmas Eve or the Hanukkah holiday. And there are, as you know, this year, they are in the same day.
Yeah, hopefully so. Consul General of Israel here in New York, Ofir Akunis, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for stopping by.